Hey, everybody, it's Sharon and Sarah here, and welcome. It is Thursday, February 13th, which means it is the last day to get the bonus on our group coaching, which is why we decided to go live and we're not just going to talk about the group coaching program, our latest course, but instead we're going to talk a lot about different ways that you can use the Brandable courses at Content Sparks beyond just what the obvious looks like, which would be teaching it. So we're going to talk about some different ways. We'll talk about our latest release, the group coaching program course as well, and how you can use that and give a peek inside and basically answer any questions you have. So housekeeping, post your questions in the chat and we will see them. We're using StreamYard. So you might, if you want us to know who you are, you might have to give approval for that. And I'll just quickly show the URL so that you know what's expiring today, or it's the bonus is disappearing, which we can talk about too. And I can even do this cute little ticker that shows it disappears. I love cool tools like this that don't take a lot of brain power for me. So that's it. Again, post your questions. I'm going to hide these for the moment so that we can just focus. And I'll keep an eye on comments as well, and Sarah will. And Sarah's been helping me throughout all of this. So if you haven't seen the challenge that we do as well, we can mention that at the end. So we ready to jump right in?
I think we are.
Okay. So I have on my notes here that one of the biggest questions we get is whether you can just use our programs to learn from yourself rather than teaching it, because a lot of people actually have no interest in teaching certain topics, but they're topics they really want to learn, like live video marketing. A lot of people got that because they want you to learn how to do live video marketing and then maybe later teach it. And this one, the group coaching one, is really a prime example of that, because a lot of our customers are coaches and consultants and people that just want to impact other people's lives and help them and add new revenue streams and things like that. And group coaching is a great way to do that. So it's a perfect one for looking at and learning from yourself and using maybe other topics that we have to create your own group coaching program. And then later you could also teach group coaching if you want, but it's a great one for that. So learning versus teaching, right, Sarah? You do some of that.
Yeah.
You have your sound on, right?
I do. I had it on mute because my dog, you can hear her in the background. She's really excited for the group coaching. And you can hear her going, and what that means is, Mum, Sharon, shut up. Show us the stuff. Don't waste that time being nice. Just show us the stuff. And,
All right. Yeah, everybody knows her by now.
Shut up.
All right. Well, you just unmute yourself whenever you want to say something. Right? And I'm going to also, people who are here watching, please make sure you leave a comment so that we know that you can hear us and that we're not just talking to ourselves as well. Yeah. Really important. And I'd love to hear what you think of, whether you buy any of our courses or interested in our courses just for learning from yourself. Because one of the things that I've been considering doing is taking one or two of our courses that we would like to teach, that you would like to learn the most from, and teach it ourselves. Obviously customize it so that it's meant for you and not your audience. So we would do the same kind of customization, kind of like we've done in one of our other courses, the creativity one, but we'd customize it to make sure it's for you. Like an example would be the one on how to launch and market your online course, right?
Yep.
So that would be a good one for us to teach, customize it for you guys, our customers and followers, so that you can learn how to take our material and actually launch and market it as well. Hey, George, good to see you here. So George, when you say both, are you getting them to learn and teach? Is that what you mean? So
yeah.
how much of a delay there is. And George is over on YouTube watching us, which is really exciting that I can simulcast on both. And we do get a decent number of people who are on both platforms, which is very cool. So let us know, George, what you were meaning by that, whether you learn and teach, and also if there are any programs that you want us to teach. So what else do you have to say on that one? Okay, George says yes. What else did you have to say on that, Sarah? Because I know you did.
It's how people find PLR, rebrandable, brandable content. I know you call it brandable and I call it rebrandable. I think that's how people find it, because they might not be able to afford a full-on course by somebody to teach them to live stream, but they may be able to afford a PLR pack or a program such as yours. I mean, yours are so brilliant. And no, I'm totally not paid to say that. I find that if you're looking to dip your toe in something and you're thinking of whether to expand your skill set in a certain area, buying a program that's brandable enables you to look at what it entails, how you would do that, because the person who's teaching this to you is you. So you've got to think to yourself, you know, do I call it that? Do my community call it that name? One of the things, as you all have heard me mention millions of times, is I'm a prolific blogger. And one of the things that really annoys me is people go around and they say, oh, I've done 30 blogs today. And I'm like, really? 30? Do you mean 30 blog posts? And they say, what's the difference?
Oh,
well, 30 blogs is 30 different sites, yeah. But I suspect you wrote 30 different articles. Yeah. So the language that I use and my community use, I'm constantly correcting them. You're a blogging professional now. You've done stuff with me. Call them blog posts, call them articles, call them anything other than blogs, because that means the entire site. So when I look at the brandable packs, I sit there and I think, do I use that language? And that's when I go through it and I adjust the language to what I use and what my audience uses and understands. And if there's a difference in the language, then that becomes a slide. So I can say, you may hear this called this by somebody else. So let's go with funnels. Some people love funnels. Yeah, they call them funnels. Other people call them flywheels, and some people call them cycles. So you get all kinds of names for the concept that is actually a sales process. Mm-hmm. So you've got to choose the name that your audience identifies with. And when you've got a pack and you're teaching yourself from that pack, one of the most powerful things you can do is just go through it and adapt the language, because as you adapt the language, you're thinking about it. And as you're writing, you're ordering your thoughts. So you can sit there and say, actually, I don't want to call it a sales funnel. I want to call it a movable sales process. Or something else. And as you do that, it starts to embed in your brain. And then you get to the part where you've got your actions and you can say, okay, then I'm going to do that. And you complete those activities. And then you find movable sales process, the MSP, actually doesn't work. You have to call it something different, because you keep getting tongue-tied when you get to MSP. So you can see it in action and you actually become more immersed in the content by doing it and adjusting it than you do just by looking at it, making your edits and teaching it. Because you're actually doing it yourself, you can think to yourself, do you know what? The recommendations here are, I need to share this on LinkedIn twice. I found if I share it on LinkedIn 37 times, I get a better result. So then you go back and you say, share on LinkedIn between 2 and 37 times, depending on your audience. So by doing, you have so much more to add. Oh, look, she's telling us, get to the stuff. I think she wants us to go and look.
I'll show everything sort of at the end, but I want to go back just 1 second to something you said that actually has nothing to do with the group coaching and PLR. Flywheel is actually obviously there's a term related to cycles or something like that, bicycles, flywheels, but it's actually a branded term that HubSpot uses. Their new model is called the flywheel, which is around really inbound marketing. It's just their new phrase of doing it. I know this because my daughter works at HubSpot and does customer training, and it's in the HubSpot, is a professor in the HubSpot Academy. So she deals with this stuff and she corrects me, and I argued with her that I like my model better, which is the customer lifecycle marketing model. It's a model and a cycle with engagement, and they have engage as one of the steps in the flywheel. Anyway, just an example of how terminology is all different, but you cannot call yours the flywheel because it's branded. And the blog thing drives me absolutely crazy because sometimes our writers do that, and I'm always going back and correcting it. It's not a blog, it's a blog post.
Yes.
Okay. So done. I got that out of my system. I vented. And if you see that in any of our material, tell me, and somebody is going to get a talking to. Definitely. Another thing that's interesting is we had Simon Raybould on the other day for VIPs, and also everyone had about 24 hours access to that. And it was one of the things he was talking about. He's a presentations expert. So if you didn't see that, sorry, it's only for VIP members of our challenge now. But one of the things he said is, I'd asked him about images, picking images, and how it takes so long to pick the images to go in your slideshows to really jazz them up and have an impact so people can learn. And what he said was, as you go through the slideshow, as you pick images, it makes you really understand the content. So if you want to make sure you understand the content before you teach it, now I'm jumping to the teaching versus learning, but go through and spend the time there to really understand each point and then pick an image that reflects it rather than having a lot of text on the slide. So that was really interesting because you said go through and when you do it, if you're doing it yourself, learning from it and implementing it, you're really going to learn and get examples and stuff. But as you go through the slides and the cheat sheet also and pick images, you're going to have it ingrained in you. And you can launch a program right from there. You can just have your slideshow and have a cheat sheet, or maybe just a slideshow and your action guide and worksheets, and launch right from that so that you can get a minimum viable program out there and beta test it before you spend time on others. So if you're worried, you get overwhelmed by all the stuff that we have, that's another approach that works really well to go quickly through it. You launched it quickly in other ways too, Sarah.
I tend to launch, I go through the slides and I go through the slides, adjust all the slides, note down where I need to add case studies and examples. I'm fortunate, I've been online for centuries, so I've got lots of examples that I can use from my transport company, from my various other experiences, and sometimes I use client examples with their permission. So I've got lots that I can draw upon when it comes to having examples. I can also say sometimes you see a best practice and sometimes the best practice doesn't quite resonate. I'll lean into the blogging. The best practice is people say blog 3 or 4 times a week, which is brilliant. You know, just getting somebody confident enough to blog 3 or 4 times a week and publish their blog posts is brilliant. However, there is a big exception. If you're in celebrity gossip, if you only post 3 or 4 times a week, you're never going to make it. If you're in fashion and you only post once a week, you're never going to make it. And knowing the difference between the niches and knowing that celebrity gossip, movies, TV shows, all profitable industry niches and arenas, they need to be updated on a daily basis. In fashion, you need to update 3 or 4 times a day. And telling somebody, you know, it's okay to only update your blog 2 or 3 times a week you need to know the exception to the rule. Now, I'm fortunate because, again, Sherry, yeah, I've been online for centuries and I've blogged millions of words. So I also know that fast-moving niches need more content. And I also know that if you're doing something like knitting, you can actually post once a fortnight and that be absolutely perfect for your community, because they're knitters, their focus is actually on doing the knitting. So to post once a fortnight for fashion, that would kill your site. But for knitting, it's absolutely perfect. And it's going through the content and being able to correct those things or put your spin on them. Not so much correct, that's the wrong word, but adding your experience there makes all the difference. But if you don't do it, so say you're talking about the group learning, if you've never done group learning, you've never delivered a group coaching program, you don't know, so you can't add that in. So get it and go and deliver your own program as a group coaching. Deliver something that you've already got. Like say you got the live video training, deliver that as a group coaching program. Take the recommendations from the group coaching program pack and turn the live video into a group coaching program. I should imagine it's very easy to adapt because Sharon's programs are always easy to adapt and fit nicely with each other. So, you know, you can take one of the previous products that you've purchased, or when you purchase this pack, you normally get a coupon, a discount, didn't you? Is it 30% off if you buy another pack? 40?
It's usually 40% off related courses. So for group coaching, we usually have it posted on the page itself, the curriculum. Let me see if I can, let me show that. So if I go down, I'm going to scroll for a while here. Yes, I know it's very long, lots of information, early bird bonus. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Somewhere in here is there, suggested curriculum. So this one is on generating multiple income streams, which means that if you get group coaching, you get a coupon for 40% off any of these. Oh, actually profitable pricing you don't want to get yet because we're doing a sale this weekend on that because we just updated it. We usually do a spotlight special, you know, the weekend sales on after we update something. But if you know, for instance, let's pick one. Say you already have a course on easy passive income, for example, and you already have something like that. You could, or you already know that topic is what I meant to say. If you already know that topic well, you could grab the group coaching program, use the coupon on this one, and then teach this one with a group coaching aspect to it. So what I mean, and what Sarah, I think, means is take a course or program that you already have, or you're even already selling and teaching, or even get a new one on a topic you know, and then use the content that you'll learn in our new one on group coaching to add a group coaching element to the other course. So you'll learn how to do group coaching in the process. So it's much easier if you already know a topic. And then I think this is perfect for, say, an online course where you want to boost the revenue and boost the sales from it. You know, it's even easier if it's something you already have up, and then add that group coaching program option to it. So you can buy the straight course that's self-study, or really accelerate your success by joining our group coaching program, where you actually do sessions every week, where you're covering a different topic in the course and getting people to give their input and stuff like that, so that you know, as soon as you add that kind of element to a course, people's success rate is going to go up dramatically. It's much harder to learn on your own. And while we put the courses together to make it as easy as possible to learn on your own, it's never a substitute for having someone give you feedback and give their own experience, live, actually talking to you, the benefits in a group of other people giving feedback and comments and input, the motivation and inspiration you get from that. Just hearing other people, especially in a smaller group setting where everyone gets to know each other a bit and know what their different challenges are and what their other issues are they have going on in their business. So that's a huge bonus as well.
I think it's a really good thing, because then when it comes to your group coaching program, at the end of it, you can say to people, did you have a great experience? And, you've actively engaged with the people in your community, and they say, yes. Would you like to do this for your community? Would you like me to teach you how to do group coaching? And then you have people do that and say yes on the spot. Now, you may find that your group coaching isn't a huge group, it's 5 people. But you can charge the 5 people a premium rate because they're getting a lot more of your attention, and that's a good thing. So you can charge a really good rate. So you're not talking about charging them like $30 for this.
No, it's like a $9.97 type program at least.
And if you've got 5 people in at $9.97, that's just under $5,000. And $5,000 is a new car. It's a new holiday. It's a new Alsatian if she doesn't shut up whining. It's lots of new things that you can have. It may clear up some debt. It may give you the opportunity to do something nice for your family. You might want to take your parents out or something. Or it could just be something that you think, this is good. I could get used to this. Every month I could do this. So it's something to consider. And it's such a natural, easy upsell from where you are when you're training. Cherise says can you pop that up?
All right, I'm a little bit late to the live stream. Have you already explained the Ready to Go 5-Day Challenge and how to use it? Is it a challenge for leads to start their own group coaching? Okay, so the 5-Day Challenge, which is the bonus that runs out today, what that is a kind of lead magnet that goes through some quick tips for starting your own group coaching. So if you want to learn how to do group coaching yourself, you can put yourself through the challenge, right? To get a real jump start before you get into anything else. But it's also there as a lead magnet so that you can start building a community and a list of people who will be interested in doing group coaching and learning it. So we've been going back and forth between the learning and teaching and how you can take this new course on how to create a group coaching program and use it to teach yourself how to do group coaching. So take another course that you already have, like Easy Passive Income or Blogging Mastery or something else that you already own and you know the topic well, and deliver that as group coaching, right? So you're teaching people in a group coaching session about blogging, about social media, about whatever it is your topic is. And once you've gotten comfortable with doing your own group coaching, you may want to teach others. You don't have to. I've had people say, hey, I have no interest in teaching other people how to do group coaching, but I really want to learn it myself. And can I therefore get this course? Absolutely. You can always get any of ours just to learn from. So I hope that explains. But the challenge itself, I can show you if you don't already know what's in the challenge. I'm just going to open that up, see if I can find it. Just keep talking, Sarah, while I go find it.
Now, if you're wondering how quickly you can turn your investment into a profit, you can do it really swiftly with group coaching something. So you can get group coaching today and you could be ready to take money on Monday. You just need to have a PayPal account. You don't even need to have a shopping cart or huge, massive setup. If you can take the money via PayPal or via Stripe, then you can process it manually. So let's just assume, George says, that was my question. Can you talk about the suggested price points for this group coaching price? Okay. I personally recommend you don't do anything in this program for less than $297. It is that powerful. $297 should be your early bird rate. You should actually be aiming, as Sharon said, for the $997. So if charging those kinds of prices makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, perhaps you need to sit down and journal that out, because you're teaching somebody a really powerful skill that's going to be really brilliant for their business. And if you sell them this as a course for $27 or $47, they won't value it and implement it. So charge the higher, because when you do that, the people will be more committed. They're more likely to value your sessions where you say, come up and ask me questions. They're more likely to turn up on those sessions. They're more likely to do the work. And when they do the work, they get the results. So please don't think, look, she's backing me up, the dog here. Please don't think that because you're paying, what is it, $97 on early bird, that this isn't worth more, because it is. It's absolutely worth more. And if I was the boss over at Content Sparks, you wouldn't be getting it for $97. You'd be paying a lot more. You'd be paying like $1,200 for this. Aren't you all glad that I'm not the boss?
Actually, I've had people recommend that to me, that I should be charging a lot more. And I've seen some other people in the training business charging, a couple $1,000s for a brandable version, not custom. Custom is more like 15,000 or so. But yeah, the point is, I would say with a course like this, you really do want to have some sort of personal element. I think that's important for any course. That's, yes, you can do self-study, but self-study is nowhere near as valuable as adding some sort of group element, community feedback. And once you get into that, $997 is nothing for the value they're getting out of it, but you need to actually be there for people. So, if you're teaching them group coaching or using any of our courses and adding a group coaching element, I would say $997 is easily a point that you can price it at. And then add that as giving people every month a certain number of group coaching sessions. So like one a week, and have that over a set period of time. So say it's 1 year, depending on how big your groups are going to be, or 6 months or something like that. So, the bigger the group, the less value you get out of it and the less you charge. But as Sarah said, small groups, something like 5 people, you charge more. I mean, if you're giving them really close, intense coaching, $1997. You just can't, don't sell yourself short on that.
No, and the people in the Content Sparks community are talented people. They're not people who, I'm just going to say that, they're not people who just roll up off the street and decide, hey, today I'm going to be somebody who teaches courses. You've got so much experience. I see it in the Content Sparks community when people go through the challenge. I see people who've got such incredible life experiences and life stories that they apply to their content, and it makes it so powerful. You're not somebody who's just fresh out of college and I'm going to have an online course. You've got such incredible stories and experiences to add to your content, to pack it out. And just, I don't know what you do, George, but I do know Cherie does the incredible graphic designs. And when I see those, I have, my mind's full of questions like, how much would it costs to learn how to do those? And how much of that information can I retain? Because what Simon was talking about, Dr. Simon Raybould, if you've missed out on this chat, you really do need to join the VIPs, because he's brilliant. The future guests are brilliant. You've only got brilliance coming from Content Sparks. And when I see Sherry's stuff and I sit there and I think to myself, I bet that in comic format is easy to retain in my mind. I bet that's easy to remember, because the way it's all laid out is so beautiful, and you have to study it and you take it all in. You're reading, and yes, you're probably getting that extraneous cognitive load thingy that he talks about. But I can still remember Sherry's stuff from before Christmas,
Yeah,
from
me too.
September. You
Yeah.
know, this is like 4 months later and I can remember it. So
Yep.
I know that's powerful. So I know you've got wonderful things that you can add to your stuff, George. I know that Sherry's got wonderful things. And I know from interacting in the community that you've all got wonderful experiences to infuse into your group coaching programs. So don't give that away, because you're changing somebody's life, you're changing their business. And when you add in that value, they're going to remember you. I remember my very first online mentor, and I was so grateful for one little thing that they showed me. And to this day, I still talk about that one technique that they showed me. And I caught up with her 2 or 3 years back, and she said, "You keep going on about that little thing." Yeah, but it changed the way everything worked. And
Yep.
she's like, "But you've learned so much since then." But that one thing made the difference. And you're going to be making so much of these one things make a difference. So many light bulb moments, so many epiphanies, so many aha moments. And, you know, your people are going to love you for this.
So I'm sure everybody's thinking this at this point. What was that one thing?
Okay, then.
So now we all want to know.
Back in the dark ages, when blogging was the only thing, podcasting had gone out and not enjoying its current renaissance. Twitter was a toddler. Facebook had only just let in the grown-ups because it was strictly college people, and only college people in the US. It wasn't anybody over in Europe. SEO was really hard to do on your website, really hard. You needed technical ninja skills.
Mhm.
And then along came a plugin by Yoast that made things easier. And there was also all-in-one SEO. And my mentor discovered that you could put a different headline in the blog post and put a completely different one in Yoast or all-in-one SEO. So you could have a headline that spoke to people on Facebook or Twitter, and a different headline that spoke to the search engines. So you could speak directly to your audience in the headline of the post and directly to the audience of searchers in the SEO tool. And you didn't even know that. Oh my gosh, now your life's changed.
Yeah, because I'm always trying to change my headlines to be search friendly and having the same one in both, or at least really similar headlines. Oh.
And now Yoast is so advanced that you can go to social and have a different headline for Facebook and a completely different headline for Twitter.
That I knew.
So you can use it 3 ways. But when I found this out, which was about 14 years ago, about 14 years ago, it was a real moment for me, because I struggled we were writing content for transport, so people were looking to move things. So I was struggling to talk to people, so when I shared the headline on Twitter, that it'll be cute enough for people to click and come and see. And I was struggling to balance that with what was going into the search engines, because people don't search cute headlines in the search engines.
Yeah.
They type in facts: how to move a sideboard, you know, how to move a Welsh dresser, how to move a table. They type in very specifics. But on social media, you kind of need to stop the scroll and stop the feed and attract the attention. So to know that little bit of information, like I say, 14 years later, I'm still talking about it.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. That's good to know. Though you also, again, have to test it, like with a course. when you're renaming the course. And yes, you should always give your own title. So you should not be selling something like our group coaching course as how to create a group coaching program, because we name it that because we found that our stuff sells better when we make it really, really, really clear what the course is about. So whenever I get kind of fancy, people are, what's that about? I have no idea. And it just doesn't sell because they don't even look at it because they don't know. Whereas if you're actually selling it as one of your branded courses, you want to give it a little bit of your branding to it, your feel of it, your audience in it. So like group coaching for business authors, if they want to move from being an author to doing group coaching, or group coaching for network marketers. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
And book to coaching program.
Yep. From book to coaching program, from business book to coaching program. So that
even better. So you weed out the romance authors and have your business book owners. And, you can call it, Mum's Group Coaching Magic or something like that. I'm now just thinking, shall I do this after I've just done the time management for mums? And that's it.
There you go. You create a series. Go from time management to group coaching to whatever else, and then marketing yourself and sales pages. Okay, Shari, what was your specialty with the superpower stuff? Put it back in there into the chat because I can't remember, and I'm thinking that would be good too, because you could do something around group coaching with the graphics that you do as well, for those superpower graphics like Marvel.
It could even just be group coaching superpowers.
Yeah, something like that. Or then teaching people just that skill is a great thing in group coaching, because with a small group, you can teach them the skills and have everybody practice. And then everyone also gets to see and give feedback on each other, which is for each other. And that's much easier in a small group setting because, like I said, if people can feel safer, they get to know each other. I find that a big group, a really big community, you have more people who don't participate because they feel more anonymous, or it's just overwhelming. Often when there's too many conversations going on, people don't participate because it's overwhelming. I had this with B School, Marie Forleo's B School. I looked at that Facebook group. I'm like, well, I'm not commenting in here. It's just going to get completely lost. What's the point? Now, that was not necessarily the best attitude to take, and I don't recommend that attitude. I'm a little hesitant on social media anyway. I don't really get very active on it. But the small group, again, if it were smaller, I would have been more active in it as well. Let's see. Sherry said, your specialty was on Black-owned business. Right. The course was on time management. Right. But you had a branding in there that had a lot of superpower things in it.
Superheroes.
And that's what I remember the most. Oh, and you're a B schooler. Yes, I am. From like 2 years ago, I did B school, and I need to go back and do it again. The interesting thing about courses like that, the really big ones, is they might cost a lot, but so long as the value you get out of it, even if you only do part of it, is more than that, it's worth it. So for instance, with B School, I didn't do the whole thing because after about the second module, I'd seen immediately where I could make some changes and make a big difference in my business. So I did that, and I just dove into that, and I know I have access to it, so I can always go back and continue on. So that's a good point also on programs like this. People aren't necessarily going to get as much value from each module, but you need to sell the outcome of it, that they're the value that they will get. So group coaching.
That could be your B School. Marie Forleo makes millionaires every year with her affiliate program and things like that. And, this could be your B School. You could deliver one program, maybe the blogging mastery or the live video, and you can deliver that and recruit people into your group coaching. And as your confidence grows and your experience with the program goes, you can release it again to another group of people. And this could be something that you just do once a year in February, and people groan. They say, oh gosh, it's not another round of this again. You know how lots of people think, gosh, all the B School emails are going to come. And if it's not the B School, what's the other one that launches in February? Product launch formula, is it?
Oh, is that Jeff Walker's one? Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're going to be one of them people that people undo their inbox and groan about because you've developed this. There's nothing to stop your programs from Sharon becoming your own B School. But hopefully more profitable, and these earn 8 figures. So, I mean, there's nothing to stop you from leveraging this into so much more. And if you just think to yourself, I'm going to deliver this program live, because all you need is the PayPal button. You can use StreamYard, which is free. They do have a pro version. You can use the free version to stream into your group. So you can have your branded bits up and your little banners, and you can interact and deliver your content via the SlideShare. Facebook to deliver your course is free. You can use Facebook and StreamYard to do your live call sessions. And you can have people on your live calls. So you can have a hot seat. You can do what we did. We had graduation parties where we invited people on to share their stories and to share where they've gone and what their future plans are to inspire other people. So you don't have to do all of the work yourself. You don't have to be chattering non-stop. You can be introverted and have guests on. And so long as you can ask your guests some questions, if you were doing group coaching, what I would do personally is I would go out and find 5 people who are brilliant at group coaching, right? And I would ask them, how did it feel right at the beginning? How did you get the courage up for the next stage? How did you know you were ready for the next stage? And I would ask them all those questions, and I would have them in my group talking to my community so that people could see that really experienced people have the same issues that they do. But they managed to overcome them. They've got their group coaching program out there, and now they're profitable and their lifestyle is exactly what they wanted it to be. So you don't have to even know huge amounts yourself if you can make the connections with people, have the conversations and invite them in and talk to them. And then you can deliver your training and your group calls and your interviews. And now you've got a really powerful program, a really powerful one that you could, I forget how many modules in group coaching. How many is there?
I think it's 6, and the bigger ones have lessons in them, something like that. I can show you in a second.
So when we put it in a second, 6 modules, that's 6 weeks. If there's 3 or 4 lessons in each one, that's perhaps a lesson a day with some homework over the weekend. Then you can have your next one and do the next module. Now you might find the next module's only got 2 lessons in, so you've got space to do a group call at the end of the week. And then you've got the weekend for people to catch up and do the work. And then on Monday, you have your next lesson and you teach that. And you might find you've only got 3 lessons in this one. So again, you've got time for a group call. So it's just a little bit. Now you might be thinking to yourself, gosh, a little bit each day. Well, just imagine for a moment that you've got 10 people in your group coaching program, all paying $997. That could give you 6 weeks off of your day job. So if you've got a day job and you're doing this as a side hustle, you've immediately just given yourself an upgrade. So perhaps you can take the time off. Maybe you can only take 2 or 3 weeks off unpaid from your job. Your job's held open, but you've got your $10,000 that you've just earned. So you're not losing out there, but you're giving a really good, valuable experience. And at the end of it, you think, okay, then I've got into the swing of this now. If I do my calls at 8 p.m. in the evening, I get home at 5, I have a shower, I have my dinner, I spend an hour with my family, I do some reading, and I do my call at 8 o'clock. You've now shifted that into your life. And I bet at the end of it, after you've taken your little sabbatical and then you've gone back, you say to yourself, do you know what? I really just don't want to do this work. I just want to do my group coaching, and I'm just going to get another 10 people all paying $997, and I'm going to do this every 6 weeks for the rest of my life, because this is so much more easier on me, easier on my life, and easier on everybody around me than it is just the 9 to 5 hamster wheel grind.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so that's one approach, definitely. Yeah, depending on your situation and what you're doing now. If you're already a coach and you're doing one-to-one, this is a great way to add some more predictable income, some more passive income to some extent. You know, it's passive when people are off doing their own work, and you have to spread it out enough. Depending on what each module is about, spread it out enough so people do have time to do the work, because otherwise they're going to get frustrated and they'll come back to their group and say, well, I haven't had time to do that. It's too close together. Obviously, each time you deliver it, you'll get a better sense of how it's going to work and what works best for your group members. But it's a really great add-on for someone who's already doing coaching or who's already delivering courses, because the courses themselves, I see a lot of people who want to just throw up some ebooks, really not the best. Videos, much better, but still doesn't have that personal element to it. Group coaching really ramps it up, and that's where you charge the bigger money and get the best success. And then you have the great testimonials from people. And then that just keeps blossoming. The more people have success, the more they tell other people, the more you can put it into your marketing and get more. And suddenly you have, a whole big business, and you can do less of the one-to-one and only do one-to-one, or not do any of the one-to-one at all if you don't want to. So lots of options there. Barb just said she was also a B school grad and only used bits and pieces. Barb, one thing that's interesting that I want you to comment on about B school, and this relates to a lot of our programs too. The thing about B school isn't that there's anything unique about the content itself that she delivers. Most of the concepts and the process you go through are pretty standard from program to program when you're building a business. Things about the questions you ask to go through and identify your ideal customer avatar, doing the research and talking to people, looking at your profit situation and which things are more profitable and which aren't, which things will make the biggest difference. These are all standard things that any business program will teach you, but it's the way she delivers it. It's the way she presents it in the videos, the community aspect, the fact that you said there's subgroups in her community since it's so big, and I have to go check that out and see if I can join some now. But all of that, I thought she delivered it over too short a period of time. It's 8 weeks with, I think, 1 or 2 weeks in between. I assume she still does it that way. But for people that are really focusing on a lot of time on building their business, that is a good length of time, because they want to just get moving on it right away. They don't want it spread over 6 months. So for me, it was a little too short because I already had a business going and I was just looking for ways to grow. And there were all sorts of people who were in there. But the point is that it's the way you deliver the program that's going to make the big impact on your audience. A lot, and you're going to add your stories and stuff, and that's really what made a difference there. So don't worry about something being totally unique, a brand new way of approaching the world and approaching group coaching or blogging or anything else. It's the stories you share and the way you motivate people and your own personality, which they're going to be buying, and the extra support and stuff too. So point there. Let me just look and see. Sherry said, I wish I could just throw stuff up, would make my life easier. Sorry, not the best. You can throw it up there and do something quickly and then add on. You shouldn't let it hold you back and say, oh, well, I have to do the group coaching element and I have to have a community. I have to do this, that, and the other. So you can just get something up there and then gradually say, okay, I'm going to add a little community now and get everybody into the community. And okay, now I'm going to see if that community wants some group coaching as another upsell. So let it build. Don't feel like you have to do it all at once. Grab the slides and record some video, give people the worksheets and get it up and get it out there right away. Just with that, doing the minimum viable course or minimum viable product or program or whatever you want to call it, your MVP. All right. Let's see. I wanted to show you the challenge because Sherry, I think, had asked that. So let me just jump over to that because this is the bonus challenge on our latest release and the bonus disappears today. So Sherry had asked about that. I'm just sharing my screen. You can't see the folder, but there are worksheets and instructions. So I'm going to open up the instructions. And you can see it has that branded thing so that it looks like a report, but basically this has there's a table of contents that shows what's in it. It has the big picture. So this is kind of the introduction. And we base this off of the opt-in report in the lead generation materials. That's why only people that buy the full course kit get this. So it's based off of that. And the lead generation materials that we give you come with slides. So the slides would also go with this if you wanted to create some videos or use those slides on live streams. But there's a big picture. So that works out really well as kind of an introduction to your challenge, to go into your challenge Facebook group or other community and introduce everyone and tell them what's going on and what the topic's about. And then there's daily emails. Again, these are great, not just for email, but also as the basis for live stream talk. So you use this as your starting point and explain it to people, tell them what today's actions are. It can be a really short, quick video or a quick live stream, or you can have a longer discussion, up to you, and do that every day for the 5 days. In this one, what are their 5 steps? They establish their why for the group coaching. Here, let me go through. So the first one is establish your why, and they go off and do that. These are all meant to be quick wins so that people quickly know what they want to do with group coaching and then want to buy your program. Have them define their audience and the main outcome of their coaching program. Do a really rough outline of the content so they have an idea of what they want to put in it. Decide how they want to deliver it. These are all quick things they can do to give them some options. And then they can actually run a test group with some people as well. So grab a few people to run a little group coaching session so they get a feel for it. So then by the end of the challenge, you can tell them, okay, let's go deeper into this. I have a whole program so we can really get your group coaching program off the ground and get into all the details, plan out, design it, structure it. I'll share my experiences. So there's a little kind of template email for you to fill in your pain points and stuff like that. And then there's a final kind of promo email as well that you can use. And that you could also use this as the starting point for a sales page. But when you run a challenge, you don't need a whole big sales page involved because you've been going through it. They've gotten to know you already. You can just talk about it as well. And there's some worksheets in there as well for people to be able to fill in the information for each day, just some simple worksheets for each day. So that is the challenge. That's the bonus that's just for today, or it ends today as well. If you want me to show other stuff in here, I know what you wanted me to show, Sarah. You wanted me to show the other things people get with the action guide. So let me go back.
There's lots of additional goodies in this to really help make your course stand out.
Where is it?
And I was so thrilled when I saw these. I was like, Kid in the candy shop.
Yeah, normally we just have an action guide. This one really needed other stuff. So, we kind of do templates on our courses where we have the same materials for the most part in each one, just to be consistent and you know what to expect. And it just makes it easier to have everything in an action guide. But when it makes more sense to have something separate, we do that. So for this particular one, there's the action guide, and then we have a self-assessment questionnaire. So this is to assess your own group coaching skills. So just because you coach one-to-one doesn't mean you can coach in a group. There are other things that you need to do. So there's a nice little assessment here, and then you can add up all the points and take some notes on where you might want to improve and what you do well. Then there's an intake form. And this is something you can use with some sample questions to evaluate potential group coaching members for your group, because you're not going to just take anyone in. You want to make sure there's some synergies among the different people, that they're going to be able to relate to each other and help each other. So that's important. There's a weekly accountability template. So this is something you would give to your coaching members, or your students of your group coaching program would give to your group coaching members, if that all makes sense. This is to keep them accountable, because you want to give them homework each time. I know I hate calling it homework, action steps to take each time, and help keep them accountable. So they have this little guide to fill in and questions to go. So review things, what they've done, what they achieved, stuff like that. But keeping it simple. You don't want to give them a ton of work. And then finally in here, the big thing is the group coaching planner. Now in the action guide, they do a lot of work with outlining their theme and other stuff and audience. And this helps them plan what they'll actually include for each session. So what they do is they establish the theme for their group coaching, what the main outcome is, divide it up into what topics they need to cover, kind of like you would do with an online course. So if you're attaching this to an online course, it's the same sort of thing. You figure out your topic and your goal for that topic, as well as what the timing. This is just an example at the beginning of the planner that was on interviewing skills, but what the timing will be for that topic. So it'll say it's over the course of 3 weeks, and then what steps you're going to cover. So say it's a topic you're going to cover in 4 weeks. You'd want to say, okay, week 1, I'm going to cover this. I'm going to do a live coaching session on this topic. I'm going to do it as a Zoom meeting. Here are the actions I need to take to get it together. And here's the support materials I'm going to give to my group. And then the next week might be some self-study stuff, kind of the in-between with some other things I want to cover, but don't necessarily need to be in a group setting. And then you might have some video or another live session. So this is a really great planner to help them lay that out. And, people might want to take the same concept and do it in a mind map. You could set it up differently, whatever works for you, right? So that, just wanted to share that as well. I have nothing else on my list, I don't think.
Well, I was going to say, if you've got that planner, so say you don't want to start your group coaching program until March, till the 2nd of March, because you've got a couple of weeks to recruit people in, interview them, take them through some intake questions so you look like you know what you're doing, make sure you're getting the right group dynamic together. So you don't actually want to start your group coaching until March. So what you can do in the interim is take that planner document, add in some of the other bits, and upload that to Kindle KDP. Not Kindle, sorry, CreateSpace KDP, the print on demand, or perhaps add it into Lulu, print on demand, and upload that file, add a little cover to it. They've got cover makers, and you can send your people who are coming a planner, a physical planner. So as soon as you've got your $997 or your $497, whatever you're charging, you can go and send them a physical planner, so that whilst they're waiting to start the program, they've got something in their hands. They've got something to get excited about, and it could start sparking ideas for them, because they can read through that and think to themselves, oh, this is quite exciting. This is making me think of this. So that when you actually start your program, you've got people excited and they'll be saying to you, George, I've got my planner. Bob, it arrived. And you'll have people tagging you on Facebook saying, oh, I'm really excited. I've got my thing. And then you'll have other people say, what's that? And you can say, oh, it's my group coaching program. Would you like to have a chat about it? So all of a sudden you've got your participants who have signed up doing some of the marketing for you because they're excited to have a package completely unexpected with a book. And you know, you're doing a really good thing there, and you pick up other people along the way because they say, oh, I didn't realize you got a book with that. I thought it was a group. I didn't realize. And you know, when you charge that little bit more, you can print out the stuff and have it dispatched to somebody's house. They don't have to print it themselves, and you can really stand out from the crowd, and it doesn't cost a lot. What have I got? I've got one of my martial arts books here. These are, let me see, 110 pages. And they've got their planner bits inside. You can see them kicking away there. And this costs us £4.68, which is about $5.50 to be sent to somebody's house. So $5.50 out of your $9.97 to have somebody be really delighted to have something in their hand and go, ooh, and tag you and share on Instagram and other places, and it starts and ignites other conversations. So that's just, I got really excited when I saw that. I'm already planning my planners that I'm going to be sending to people.
And then you can get Shari to design a really cool cover.
Oh,
and
yeah.
A hero element on it as well. You have to get the martial arts title.
If you did that, Shari, if you took the group coaching and turned that planner and done all your thing, we would all buy it because we love your work. You know, you could sit there and you could be selling those for $20 and we'd be going like, ka-ching, 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 buying them because we just love them. They're so gorgeous. And I don't even think we're your target audience.
No, not. So I was just going to show this blog post because you were talking about having something physical. But for instance, we did this blog post that was on how to create a group coaching program for your courses. So an online group coaching program. And what we did is update this and add a different freebie, which we based off of some of the pieces in our Brandable course on how to create a group coaching program. So it's your get your free group coaching program outline and planner. So we took a part of the action guide, so the outline from the action guide and the planner, and put them together and branded it and used it as a content upgrade. And that's the kind of thing you can easily do and obviously customize it to your audience. This post was more for people that are teaching courses, adding on a group coaching aspect to it as well. So just another idea for things that you can do is actually use the stuff for content upgrades, use pieces of it. You could have a really great big pillar post, things that are all about group coaching, and then have the challenge as an opt-in, as your upgrade. You know, do that 5-day challenge and make the challenge evergreen so that you're always bringing people in, kind of like what we're doing with our 10-day online course challenge. It's now evergreen and we have a big community and people just keep joining in at different points, which means people that have done previous stuff can give tips to new people. And then, you know, everybody feeds off each other's experience, which works out really well too. So another idea, make it evergreen, use the challenge, and then you'll be able to sell the stuff further down if you're not ready to do it now. But you'll have this list of people who are going to be interested in all sorts of different things that you do because they're going to get to know you. And then you don't have to stress about the marketing and selling side of things so much, because doing something like challenges is fun to do. Yes, it's marketing, but you're helping people, so it doesn't necessarily feel like marketing, which is the best type of marketing, right? We are up to the hour that I promised my contractor here who's working on the bathroom I would be done so that he could come back and make noise. So I'm gonna have to wrap this up if no one else has any questions going on. And the people who mentioned that they had done B School, we need to connect some more because now I want to go back and see what's going on there. But just to reiterate, let me show those URLs again, because it's really, really important that if you want to learn or teach how to do group coaching, grab the course today so you can get that challenge I was talking about, the bonus ready to go challenge. Use it with other things in the package. It's just for people who buy the complete course kit, the Blaze package, as we call it. And that ends today at midnight Pacific. We made it Pacific time for all my California friends who get really annoyed that everything is on Eastern time. It's not. All right. We'll continue to look out for questions as well. So post them, continue to post them, because I know a lot of people watch these live streams later and then continue posting questions. We will look out for those. All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining in live, and keep us posted as well on how things go. All right. Thanks, Sarah, for joining me.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.